Okay. This is the third episode of the Newman Show. And we don't have just anybody. We have Spencer Rockman. So I moved to this community, the Highland Park Edison community. It's basically one community. Right. You know that better than me. And I moved here, and right when I came here, I came to the yeshiva, Midrash David, and Rabbi Tal reached out to you and said, "Oh, what did you say? Just something about
It was prior to you arriving.
yeah,
You showed me a little text, I think maybe from your mom,
yeah,
saying we have a new member of our yeshiva who
Yeah.
is planning on coming soon, and he happens to be into soccer, which I shared with his mom about one of the initiatives that we have that you might want to be involved with. And so, okay, that's great. He likes soccer. Little did I know that you have a passion for the game. And so
Yeah.
our connection deepened.
yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah, and I mean, it's crazy because I could have gone to any place in the entire world. I could have gone to England, where they would have no one when it comes to soccer or football. They'd have no one close to you. I could have gone to, anywhere in the world, any Jewish community in the world, but I would never get to Eitz Chaim and to Highland Park and Eitz Chaim and Midrash David and connected with Spencer Rockman. So it's really, really crazy how things work. I know you're very into that type of stuff. How the world, the inner workings of the world.
There is no serendipity.
All right, perfect.
I can tell you that.
Yeah. What is serendipity? Can you explain to me? Sorry.
Serendipity usually refers to something that's by chance.
Yeah.
It's like you can't make this up, but it's like it's just a crazy coincidence.
Yeah.
But really, there is no serendipity. It's all.
Yeah.
How would you say? Orchestrated.
It's the divine.
By the
right?
divine.
By the divine. Yeah.
I mean, I have my life basically is that, and one of the things that I speak about is after the fact, AFT, after the fact, or ATF, after the fact. So many things that happened maybe 50-something years ago, and you thought it was about this, and it was about this, and it was about that. But as the mission continued to unfold and evolve in unfathomable ways, what happened many, many years ago, it was about that, but it was also about this. So again, no accidents.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've learned so much from you. We had these different conversations about the start of, total football is what they call it, right? And how we talk about the Scottish and how the Jewish influence in that, and and also at the same exact time. And there's it's crazy. There's no, it's crazy that in the United States also was the same. You're saying about how in the United States they had the same exact kind of revolution, in the idea of how to play basketball in the United States with Jewish boys.
It was crazy. There were different inroads.
Yeah.
And in European football, European soccer, and American basketball.
Yeah.
And Canadian hockey.
Wow.
They were all happening at the same time. I guess it was like
it's crazy.
Whatever the evolution was, it was now going to be applied to that particular discipline, that particular sport.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we've had all those conversations. I mean, it's crazy. We'll go on for literally an hour in the morning right after davening.
Oh my gosh.
We'll just go straight full hour just speaking about things. Talk about Italy.
You're very knowledgeable.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Are.
Yeah, it means a lot.
And humble. And humble.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. So I mean, there's just so much to unpack, right? We have, let's say, 45 minutes for this episode, and we're definitely gonna have a
part one.
This is the part one. We're definitely gonna have a part two, and maybe even a part 3 and 4 and 5 and so on. So I mean, I just want to start somewhere. So let's start somewhere a little surface level. So
You're good. You're good. You're good.
thanks. Um, so okay, so you grew up. What is it? The 70s, the 60s,
I grew up in the 50s and 60s.
50s, and 60s. Okay. So what was that like? You grew up in fairly central Jersey, right?
Right up the road, Metuchen, New Jersey.
Touching, yeah. So what was that like growing up? In as you know, you're a Jewish boy, Jewish kid, growing up, Central Jersey, 60s. I mean, I never got to experience that, right? So everything I hear from you is going to be, all I know. I have a grandmother who grew up in the 50s and 60s, but she doesn't really talk about those times. She wasn't so religious or whatever. She doesn't want to talk about it. But yeah, so I mean, please give us an idea of what was life like in the early, you know, early 60s and late 50s growing up.
I was the oldest of four, so I was the I don't want to say the guinea pig, but I was the firstborn. And Metuchen, very, very unique community that my parents chose to settle in. My father was from Carteret, and my mom from New Brunswick,
Wow.
both top and bottom tip of Middlesex County.
Wow.
And they set their roots down in Metuchen. And Metuchen, interestingly, geographically, is completely surrounded by Edison on all sides. So Metuchen is basically the hole in the donut,
Really?
or in the bagel.
Okay.
And there's an interesting story as to how that happened back in 1902, but that's for another time.
Okay.
And so it basically reflected what the 50s looked like in this country, in the 60s. The 60s, as I was becoming, how would you say, early teens into my teens.
Young adult.
Very, very meteoric. You don't realize that, oh, wow, JFK got assassinated. Oh, MLK got assassinated. Oh,
Wow.
Bobby Kennedy got assassinated. Oh, major riots throughout the United States with civil rights, the civil rights movement. I mean, you're living life, and now when you look back, you say, "Wow, how do we live life with all that happening?"
Yeah.
So you're living life. You're going through life now. Jewishly, I was raised in what you'd call a traditional household. I was fortunate, so we weren't Orthodox, completely Shomer mitzvot. However, my parents pretty much were in a minority amongst their friends. All the Jewish friends, for the most part, majority, sent their children to public school, which is cool, because I know you can be from, go to public school, you can do the deed. There was a couple families that did, and so we were raised in the conservative movement. But my mother, from early on, decided she was going to send us to day school. So all my siblings were sent to day school.
Okay.
And were given a very strong Jewish education. Kept a kosher home, inside and out, and gave a fantastic foundation. And it's paying dividends.
Really?
Probably we can trace about 6 generations of our family in this country. And the very youngest, the new generation, they're all being raised in observance.
Beautiful.
So this is a decision, quite frankly, that my mom, may she rest in peace, she's right on the sleeve, Bashi, and we do acts of kindness in her memory.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see in the video, but on his sleeve he has Bashi's Acts of Kindness Ethics Center.
Yeah, so because of her, how would you say, beliefs, that's why we're here.
Yeah. Wow.
And so is it just nice, middle class, hardworking parents.
Yeah.
And just a good, solid upbringing. Very fortunate.
Beautiful. So I know you served in the U.S. Army. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Well, this is like the Vietnam time.
Okay.
And it was a tough war. It was a tough war, unpopular, and very, very scary.
Okay, we're back. There was some sort of dispute between some different people at one of your what is it, clinics? Your little, little soccer, some rover
If
soccer.
reportedly
Yeah.
a young man was acting up, and there's a couple complaints, and
But I just want to say the way you handle that, I'm very, very, very impressed. I would send my kid there, and I hopefully will send my kid to,
well,
to the
thank
Rovers
you.
when I have my kids
That's right.
later on.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so we were talking about when you served in the U.S. military.
Yeah, very, very tough war, and even people that were very maybe patriotic, still were incredibly. I don't want to say afraid or apprehensive, or really did not want to serve. It was very unpopular. Yet there was many, many people who served heroically, and in my case, I was drafted.
Yeah.
And the way the draft worked, it was by lottery. So if you had a low number, a very good chance you were getting drafted. So you have 365 possible dates on board on July 4th, and July 4th, the number came out was 59. So that's 59.
Your birthday. So that means your birthday's in not too long.
Yeah, and so I remember I swallowed. Like maybe not when you want to cry, but it's like I said, all right, 59. I guess I'm going.
Really?
And I did get drafted.
Wow.
So now there was a couple options.
Okay.
And the options were you could go and do a 2 or 3 year stint and take your chances. Maybe you're going to be sent over to Nam. Quite frankly, it was in 72. And even though the war was still going on and still raging, they were trying really hard to figure out how to disengage.
De-escalate.
The peace treaty, I don't think, was signed until 75 in France. So at the same time, there was something called reserves, the National Guard, where you would do regular Army basic training and advanced training, and then you would join a reserve unit where you lived and go to meetings for 6 years. Be a 6-year commitment.
Wow.
And every year for 2 weeks, you'd go away to a fort. In my case, I ended up getting in the reserves. I served. I did the basic training, the advanced training at Fort Polk, Louisiana, and then in the summertime, I'd go to Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Wow.
As it turned out, even those that were in the 2-3 year regular Army, I don't think they were sending people over to Vietnam anymore. That's
Really?
my impression.
Really?
So I ended up getting, I ended up getting a honorable discharge for the United States Army.
Really? Wow.
But I
Yeah.
I was drafted.
When did the draft end? I actually don't know.
That's a good question. I'm not sure when it ended, and I'm not sure when the volunteer army started.
It's interesting because we have a similar situation right now with thinking about bringing back a draft.
Yeah.
But even the soldiers who are already, serving in the military are thinking, I don't know if I want to fight in Iran. I don't want to know if I want to fight in these different countries, which is so crazy to think as someone who was in Israel, right? I had Iranian missiles coming at me. I'm like, these are literally people sending missiles at civilians. Even if they hadn't been saying, okay, our biggest enemy is America, even if they hadn't been saying, we want to bomb America, whatever it is, right? They're still bombing innocent civilians in Israel. And Israel is the United States, one of the biggest allies of the United States. So it's crazy to think. But now it's becoming like a question, like almost like the same question as Vietnam. I don't think Haven't heard many people talk about that, the connection between the two, or
Iran and Vietnam.
Iran and Vietnam. Yeah,
No, there's no comparison because we had over 50,000 soldiers
that's true.
killed,
That's true.
and even if they weren't killed, you came back. Many people came back.
Oh yeah. I had a great grandfather, a great uncle who served in Nam. Also, my grandfather um, served in Nam. Yeah. My great uncle served in Nam as a what's it called, helicopter captain operator, whatever they call them. And yeah, his family was like, let's go. We're gonna go to Vietnam. Let's go have a good time in Vietnam. And he was like, no, I cannot go back there. You know, yeah, it's horrible. But Iran is not the same thing in that way. But obviously, Iran is still huge, and to go into a ground invasion, which it has been a question since the beginning, whether it's feasible or not, is a different conversation, right? But it's definitely been a question. Everyone's been questioning that, whether we have to do it ourselves or find someone else to do it. But yeah, so it's a crazy idea with that.
I mean, it's a geopolitical game.
Yeah.
A different geopolitical game, and it's almost managing a conflict now. If America wants to go in and do something,
Yeah.
they can.
Yeah.
But it's probably not the right timing. I mean, it all depends on not only your point of view, but America is going to be 250 years old. The World Cup is coming here. So who knows what forces are in play to maybe keep it at bay. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
So let's talk about the World Cup. Let's go away from the army, the darkness.
Yeah.
Let's think about, right. So the World Cup is coming to the United States for the second time in the
Correct.
United States history. They
That's
came in the
correct.
'90s, right? And now the World Cup is in the United States. Now, right? You're in the Hall of Fame. I looked that up. So you're in the Hall of Fame of what is it? The New Jersey Youth Soccer, right? Something like that.
Right. I am fortunate to be in 2 Hall of Fames.
Two Hall of Fames. Okay.
Yeah,
Which
I'm
is
in the
the
youth
which is
and
the second one?
the adults.
Really?
Yeah.
Really. And I saw, so I looked it up, and it says, as well as the fact that you're in it, right? There's also some World Cup players who are in it. What's his name? Ramos. Something Ramos.
I mean, they were inducted at the same time, you mean?
Exactly. Inducted at the same
That's some
time
good
as you,
research.
and they were World Cup winners as well. What's his name? Tab Ramos.
Correct.
T-A-B Ramos. Yeah.
Yeah, Tab Ramos.
Yeah, Ramos. Yeah. Well, is he Mexican? Spanish?
Tab Ramos, American.
American dude.
American. He played on our 1994 team.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He was a phenomenal player.
Wow.
He was a top schoolboy in New Jersey when he came up, playing for St. Benedict's.
Wow.
Then he played some, I believe, college ball at North Carolina State. And then he played some pro in Spain.
Really?
And he was on our national team. He played in that game in 1994 against Brazil. A 1-0 loss. He played in that game.
It's interesting because the United States wasn't that bad in that competition, right? You look at the United States nowadays; they're
they might surprise some
struggle a
people.
lot.
You'll see.
I mean, we played against the Netherlands in the last World Cup, and I remember I watched that game and I was like, I think it was on a Shabbos. I think it might have been on a Shabbos. I don't know. I don't think I watched it live, but I watched it and I was just like, there's something missing. There's something missing in this United States team, and apparently, right, there was a few different teams throughout the years since the 90s that they say that were good enough to go pretty far as they did go as far as the quarterfinals,
2002
right? Yeah,
was
2002.
when the referee, I think, swallowed his whistle.
Yeah.
It's when South Korea and Japan co-hosted. And Bruce Arena, the legendary American coach, who's now coaching San Jose.
Oh, really?
He's the most successful American coach in history by far.
Really?
Yeah. So he was our national team coach, and we're playing the Germans, and there was definitely a PK in the box.
Yeah.
And no call. That would have been a game changer. It probably would have thrust us into the quarters, I believe.
Wow.
I don't think the Final Four, but I think the quarters. You have to do research. And someone said to me, I go like, hey, they said, the powers were saying, it's not your turn. It's not your turn yet. Now, that could be, but it was very unfortunate.
Yeah.
And that's 24 years ago. And it was a wonderful team. So we've done well in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Yeah. The question is, will we do it this year? I looked at the
I think we'll
predictor.
surprise. I think we might surprise some people.
You think so?
We
I
might.
looked at the predictor, and if you look at the two halves, right? So if you get through your group in the World Cup, groups, you get through the group stage, right? There's two halves. There's one half that has Argentina, I think England and Spain as the three best teams on one side. I believe I might be wrong. One side you got the U.S. and the Netherlands, basically the two best teams on that side. Basically, Netherlands are probably the best team on that side. Whatever it is, look at that. Netherlands will probably get to the end. Facts are, probably get to the end because just the quality difference. And I wonder if I do have it on my computer still pulled up. No, I don't. That's unfortunate because I would have loved to show you, but basically, yeah, it's like it's a lot more possible for the Netherlands to reach the final than anyone on the other side. So there's two sides, and the United States is on the easier side.
There you go.
So I think it looks like the stars are a little aligned that we might make it to a quarterfinal or even semifinal exit.
And that'd be miraculous.
That would be miraculous. Yeah. Yeah.
But there are a lot of powers. I mean, the favorites are France and Spain.
Yeah.
England's up there. Portugal is now, people are high in Portugal. Brazil, you never know. Argentina, defending champs.
Yeah.
So, who knows?
Yeah.
That's why they play the game.
Yeah. Because you can never know. You never know. Yeah. You never know if a team like Curacao can make it to the final of the World Cup. There's really no way to guarantee 100%.
And Germany, we forgot about Germany.
That's true. Germany are going to be,
Yeah.
well, they're either going to struggle a lot because of kind of like some, they don't have the best left back. They don't have the best, different positions in the pitch. They'll have they'll be like, it's not great. They also didn't bring in a lot of the youngsters, which was really sad. There was a bunch of good players like,
Why's that?
what's his name?
That
That kid who just came through Bayern Munich. Oh, I forgot his name.
that's
Carl.
That's they say that's
Leonard Carl.
They say that was one of the mistakes that I think Italy made
Yeah.
in 2010, that they went with the veterans instead of bringing in the new.
Well, this is what the Italy is. This is what they become. They become a league where, it was recently said by a pundit, I can't remember exactly who, and I'm paraphrasing, but essentially, if Lamine Yamal and Leonard Carl, easily the two best teenage wonder kids in world football, were playing in Italy, they'd be playing in Serie B in the second division.
No way, really.
This was said by, I think it was an Italian. Or maybe it was a Spanish pundit who used to play in Italy. I think it was. I don't know exactly, right? So I'm paraphrasing, and on top of that, I don't know exactly who. But pretty much, and I agree with this. If you look at the Italian Serie A, they don't have, first of all, most of their big young wonder kid talents are imports. Meaning to say, players like Yildiz, he's a Turkish talent, very, very good player, plays for Juventus, very good player. Juventus' entire team, right, who are historically probably the best Italian team, are full of talents from other countries. Whereas you look at the Juventus of old, and a lot of those players were Italian. A lot of those players were not only Italian, even if they weren't Italian, they were like part of Italy. They were like Maradona. They were like, Maradona is part of Napoli. Those guys were like Italian almost at that point.
I mean, what about England? England has players from all over.
Well, that's all that England is, right? England England went from, in the early 2000s, having some of the best midfield in the world: Beckham, Gerrard, Lampard, and as well as that also Scholes, right? So that's the four best midfielders in the world.
Forget about it, right?
At the time, this is a little before Iniesta, a
But
little before Xavi.
In some ways, they underachieved also.
Well, that team underachieved just because of how much talent they had, right? And also in the attack, they had once Alan Shearer left, they had all these different players. Wright came in, and as time went on, Michael Owen came in. I'm a Liverpool fan, so Michael Owen's not a favorite of mine. Famously, actually,
Can't believe these names. It's
yeah.
amazing.
I mean, so when Michael Owen and Steven Gerrard were at um, some sort of thing, it's a World Cup. I think they were being pundits for the World Cup, and they were both there. And Michael Owen gave an opinion, and Steven Gerrard said, "You know what the difference between you and me is? You won't ever be let back into Anfield. I will. They let you come back into Anfield because you know what he did. He went to Manchester United, and he did very well at Manchester United. But it's actually the funniest part is everyone says that, but I will say he actually wanted to go back to Liverpool. Liverpool didn't want to sign him. Maybe it was his wages. Maybe it was too many injuries. Maybe it was a mix of both. I don't know. But he went to Manchester United and he won. I think he won the league with them. I do think he did.
Mm-hmm.
So I think. I mean, I don't think. I know because whatever you tell me, I know is pretty accurate. You said how you've. I mean, this is something I've gathered. You've said that a lot of the biggest talents, but a lot of the biggest American talents, have all been almost all, or a lot of them have been from New Jersey, and I can't stop thinking that maybe Spencer Rockman had some sort of influence in that. And that maybe that's a little crazy, but I feel like Spencer Rockman, I know in the 70s, you were part of the group that created the what is it, the Edison, I won't get the exact name. The Edison United Soccer Association in 1974. You helped establish it in your 20s, which that's also crazy. But I can't, I'm just like, I think there's got to be some sort of correlation.
No, I appreciate that, but I can't say that I really had any thing to do with development. Now, there were some wonderful Jersey players, particularly from Kearney. That's the old Scottish town. Tony Meola, the great goalkeeper, played in that 1994 World Cup.
Okay.
And he was inducted the same time as I was in the men's Hall of Fame in New Jersey.
Wow.
Tony Meola is now I think he's a broadcaster, and John Harkes, Tab Ramos. Those are the big three.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a strong Jersey flavor, but at this point, while Jersey has had its contributions, it's pretty much across the board.
Yeah.
I really can't say I was instrumental in.
No? I don't know. I just feel like there's got to be some correlation somewhere. There's got to be some sort of divine something.
I played a part. I was appointed in 1985 till 91, I believe, for 7 seasons. New Jersey's Olympic developmental coach for 23 years old, under 23, and for men. And what that meant basically was your state playing against other states within the eastern region, and then if you advanced, you'd play against other regions. There's 4 regions, and we did play in the national championship. Unfortunately, we fell a little short in 91. So I was entrusted with those players, of which I was part of selection. And so hopefully you do a good job. So it's an opportunity for them to continue to be, to be exposed, get good exposure. But they've already been identified. These are players that have maybe gone through the college. Today, the top players, maybe don't go through the college. Some might still.
Right.
In general, it doesn't really. The development you need earlier, you need year-round, you need professional environment. Even if the college game is nice, it's still.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, actually.
But I'll just say that.
Oh, please do. Please finish, yeah.
Yeah. I had my role, but that's okay. And Edison United Soccer Association is more of a grassroots organization. And basically, it promotes the game within the community for the youngest to the oldest. And that was one of my heavy emphasis for many years.
Yeah.
being a
Right.
founding father
Yeah.
in '74.
Yeah. So, okay, you've actually, oh, wow. So you spent 43. Tell me if this is wrong, right? So my sources may be wrong. It says here you spent 43 years teaching, coaching, youth coaching, uh, to in a youth coaching soccer youth coaching school. Two other coaches.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's New Jersey has a coaching school,
Wow.
and so you're teaching other coaches how to get their certification in order to be legally able and also knowledgeably to work with the kids. It's like a licensing. So I would say probably since 1975, I'd been on the staff
Wow.
and taught the courses to youth coaches to help them get their certification to be able to coach
Yeah.
their youth teams.
It's funny because you were just saying about how a lot of players would go through the college, right? That's how they would get to the top level to be able to play through the Olympic U23 and the Olympic team, right? So today, and this is a very common thing that a lot of people are saying, okay, U.S. talents, U.S. The top talents in the United States cannot do well because either it's you go through some sort of academy or something, but it costs too much money. Parents can't pay for that.
A lot of pay for play. Very good.
Yeah.
Doing your research.
And a lot of another big problem they're saying is because because college is it just doesn't work. It's just not high enough level. The materials used for anything coming from the pitch,
It's a shorter season.
Right.
So as wonderful as it is, and whatever quality, football is meant to be played on a year-round basis. And if the NCAA says, okay, your season is September, October, November, then it's great. It's incredible. But here, year 18, 19, 20, 21, So now these top kids who are identified, they go to Europe.
A lot of them go to Germany. For some reason, a lot of them gone to Germany.
They go to Europe and they try to develop. Now, here's the interesting thing, which I was just told recently by a neighbor.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, they still maintain their amateur status and they can come back and play for a college team. And they're coming back at 22, 23, men, seasoned by that experience. And now the 18, 19-year-old kid is trying to come into the college is how would you say, a little bit impacted in a negative way. I did not know this.
Really?
So it's a whole big thing going on now.
Really?
But the bottom line is the player development has to be done whether it's from the MLS, because all the MLS teams have academies.
Right.
And
that's a very small amount of teams.
So basically these kids will first try to go through the academy.
Yeah.
And
yeah. If you go to like Brazil, right? You look at all the best players, let's say you look at all the best players from Brazil. Yeah, you have Neymar, Pele, all these players. They did not grow up, I mean, I remember you were telling me about how Pele, actually I want to get to this in a little bit, about he went to Pele's first game in the United States, playing in the United States. But players like, Pele, Neymar, those types of players, obviously Pele was 1 year and then Neymar's many years later. And then, you had all these types of top level players today. You have, your Endricks, your Ryans, your, top level Brazilian talents. A lot of them did not grow up rich. How do they have any money? Well, they would go to the place, try out, whichever way they'd get into the team. And,
right. If you're in a club takes you, you're not worried about.
They take care of you, yeah.
At the same time, Brazil, though, has some issues in terms of their performance on the national level. They're not doing as well as they used to.
Of course, yeah.
And one of the reasons is that the top Brazilian talent really goes to Europe. And
and then they come back to when they're retiring also a lot of the time, which is not good.
They're wonderful.
Yeah.
But you can't say. See, it's. I mean, if you Google it, and I'd be because I googled it and I said like, what's going on? And sometimes it could be within Brazil, their federation struggles. It could be that not that the rest of the world has caught up, uh, but they'll have individually great players, but the cohesion has not been there to compete against the Spains and the Frances,
Really?
which is unfortunate. Now they
Well,
have
yeah.
Ancelotti,
Wow.
who's an Italian coach, who's coached in Spain,
Yeah.
maybe in England too.
Yeah.
And so you can see they're reaching out beyond their borders to try to maybe patch it together. We'll see what happens.
Right. So let's go back to like the history. I want to get some of that rich history. So you watch soccer in the United States, football, soccer, whatever you want to call it. In the United States, we call it soccer. You watch this sport go from pretty much nothing, right? The United States men's national team and Olympic teams were not the best in the world, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but they were not the best in the world, right? And then at some point, they reached a certain level. And how do they do it? I remember you telling me about the leagues that they created. So let's
So what's the question exactly?
No, meaning you talked about how they brought in Beckenbauer and they brought in Franz Beckenbauer, they brought in Pele, they brought in a lot of these different players
so that
to
didn't
make the league better.
Right, that didn't necessarily impact
No,
on
you
the
don't think
quality
so?
of the national team.
Really?
Keep in mind, the grassroots revolution was starting in the late '60s, early '70s, getting kids interested.
Right. And do you think that there was any similarity, like any connection to those two, between the two?
Yeah, so what happened is England won the World Cup in '66, and a couple of entrepreneurial, enterprising people from England
Yeah.
had an idea. The time is right
Yeah.
to try to jumpstart it again in America.
Yeah.
Now remember, if you look at the rich history of American soccer, things were happening in the teens and the 20s that people are not aware of.
Yeah, I mean, there's a famous World War I story where they played soccer, so they knew how to play it. They knew what it was.
It was actually growing very big in this country. People are not aware. And then a couple things happened historically. World War I, we became isolationist. A lot of different things. And it ended up getting quiet. The only people that were playing it were all your ethnics. The people come from different countries.
Yeah.
That's their game. We have the Italian club. We have the German club. They make their leagues, incredible leagues. But what we see now today with zillions and zillions of kids playing, that didn't really jumpstart again until the mid-late 60s. And part of it was due to the fact that maybe the time was just right.
Yeah.
But these enterprising guys started a league, which became the North American Soccer League.
Yeah.
And it was basically a nice league, but probably semi-pro because the players were not full-time. But then Warner Brothers bought the Cosmos.
Really?
The Erdogan brothers from Turkey. Atlantic Records.
Is Erdogan the same Erdogan as the guy who's in charge of Turkey right now?
No. I don't believe so, no.
No?
So these guys were living here, and so now what's happening? They have it, and then they're convinced to sign Pelé.
Wow. And,
that becomes a watershed event.
Wow.
He's just finishing playing for Brazil from Santos, and he comes in '75.
Yeah.
And the floodgates just open.
Yeah.
And the league just like, after about 7-8 years, it takes off.
Yeah.
And Giant Stadium, MetLife Stadium, whatever it's called, is being built. And it becomes the greatest show on earth.
Really?
The Cosmos.
The Cosmos are the best?
They brought in, just like you see Messi, just when he's finished playing for Barcelona, but he's still great. They bring in all these guys, the best of that generation.
Wow.
And the other
Johan Cruyff, Rinus Michels.
He comes.
But
But the Cosmos team was basically an international all-star team.
Wow.
They had guys on the bench that were like international stars.
Wow.
But Trevor Francis from England went to Detroit. Georgie Best went to LA Aztecs. It was
Wow.
Cruyff went to Diplomats.
Yeah.
The difference is, why is it succeeding now where the NASL stopped in 84? There's various reasons, but it had its legacy. It inspired a generation of people now that are in their 50s and their 60s. And so it was symbiotic. Kids were getting into it. NASL, just like college game. So everything, even though the league died, the game continued to flourish to the point where 12 years later, in 82, 94, I think the league died in 84, we host the World Cup.
Yeah.
The most successful World Cup in history.
Really?
Run by Alan Rothenberg. Financially.
For sure Jewish.
Yeah. And 2 years later, we launched the MLS.
Wow.
The stipulation was you're not getting the World Cup unless you have a league. We couldn't get a league together in time. They said, okay. FIFA said, okay, have the World Cup and then set up the league after. So the league comes in, and it's very precarious. The owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, Lamar Hunt, you know, the Chiefs, like big, famous football team.
Yeah.
He owns 4 MLS teams just to make sure they stay in business.
Really? So he's keeping them alive.
To keep them afloat, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was fiscally conservative. Set up a model almost like league ownership. It was a different model, but again, just to try to keep it afloat. And
like
now
what's happening in Saudi Arabia, really?
96, and here we are.
Wow.
96, is it 20 years later?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
30
now
years
you
later.
can't get a franchise. They're so valuable.
Yeah.
You can't buy it.
Yeah. I mean, even 15 years ago when more than 15 years ago, when David Beckham, when he signed for LA Galaxy, got a really good deal to go buy.
He got a great deal, but I have to give the man.
Even then,
I give the man credit. He was not a foreign guy, because you also had the stereotype of foreign guys coming in and mailing it in. You know, I'm going to go across the ocean. I'm going to make some bucks. You know, I'm just going to mail it in. Beckham, the guy came in, I think it was 5 years with LA. I watched him. He was completely committed, and I think his last year they won the cup. I saw him take a hit, a really ruthless tackle. I don't want to say who it was from. I feel it's like Lashon Hara. But he did not mail it in, and he deserved everything he got. He didn't have to come, but he thought it was great potential. And like you said, he also had the incentive of Miami down the road. Total respect for his game.
Yeah.
And so, look, I'm optimistic. You talked about from where we came from. You talked about from the early days of NSL. I look at from where we came from, where when I started this, I was called from above to do this, unbeknownst to me that this was the plan.
Yeah.
So one day I'm in Metuchen and I'm spreading the game.
Yeah.
And a little boy asked me, as I'm holding the ball, what is that?
Yeah. Wow.
Literally said, what is that?
That's crazy.
So if I say to you now,
yeah,
we've come from the point where a child says, what's that? To now, I can actually measure, 54 years.
Wow.
I can measure. I had a complete belief in the game. I had such a belief in the game.
Almost
and so,
that's
what's
crazy.
happening does not surprise me.
Yeah. I mean, it had to be a lot of confidence coming from you to be able to do all that. You know, you were you were part of a professional team. Were you coaching? Were you?
I chose not to coach.
Okay.
I was offered the coach. I was actually running the player part of the team.
Okay.
So I could have self-appointed for various reasons. I chose not myself.
Okay.
And I chose a coach named by the name of Dave McWilliams from Philadelphia to coach our team.
Okay.
But this is going back into the later into 90 and 91.
Okay. 91.
So 99. So that's 20 years almost from when I started this mission, and
Wow.
so I just
So you
I felt
co-owned.
I
How does
felt
that work?
I was one of the owners, but
Okay.
however I
Yeah.
came into this game
Yeah.
with just pure passion and conviction, and smitten by the game.
Yeah.
And I lived it every day.
Yeah.
I lived it every day, and I wasn't being paid.
Yeah. Today
So
we
yeah. So just so
crazy.
you know.
Like, well, I'm, adding to that, like, it's so crazy how today, not crazy. Today, you think, okay, guy coaches a team, he's in charge of the team, he owns the team, he's, wow, okay, good for him. He did some coaching. But to stick with it when soccer was such a small minority sport in the United States
Well, just keep in
is
mind.
crazy. It's commendable.
Keep in mind that I was one of the people that was selling it. So it was a belief. Whether I was, it didn't matter. This is what I was doing.
Yeah.
This is all I was doing, and so all I did is became sort of a there's a lot of different articles were written about those early years. I was called the Pied Piper. I was called the Johnny Appleseed. I had a credibility with the kids. Why? You may not know the story, but I was a good humor ice cream man.
Yeah, I saw that.
So this mission, basically started off of a good humor ice cream truck.
Wow.
Yeah. And when I started that, I was into the game, but I had no idea that God was going to call me 3 years later and say, oh, by the way, spread the game to the youth from your ice cream truck.
That's crazy.
And that's essentially what happened. And so I had credibility. Every kid, I was the ice cream man. So if I was going to say, we're going to be selling marbles, we're going to be selling little, whatever it's going to be, okay, it just happened to be the drug of choice was going to be soccer. To the point, if there was like a story made, it would show me at 8 in the morning taking my mother's station wagon and going from house to house and picking the kids up and bringing them to the field at 8:30.
Wow.
To play for 2.5 hours until I got on the truck at 12 till 9 at night.
Wow.
True story.
That's crazy.
This is the, so when you look at USA as United, if you look at the roots are from that story, to the point where I remember we had 16 people stuffed in the station wagon. The hair was out to here. The cop stops us. He looks in. Remember, 16 kids. He goes, oh, it's you. Good. Go.
Really?
So we're on the way to the field in Metuchen. And, we're playing, teaching. And that's basically the roots. It's very unique.
Wow.
But I had no idea that was the plan.
Wow.
It came from above.
Wow.
So this is what I'm doing. I mean, I'm on the streets, 24 years old. They have a ski bum. I'm the soccer bum. That's all I do. I'm doing it this way. I'm doing it that way. I'm doing it this way. I'm doing it this way. So, and then it becomes formed into a soccer club. And so now the soccer club is this particular club, which started in Metuchen. It was originally Metuchen, became Metuchen Edison. And now we have 2 side-by-side clubs. But it's really continuous soccer since 1974. And
Yeah.
so then one thing leads to another.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
There's a lot of aspects of what we have, and I think I can
Yeah.
there's so many directions we can go in. So I mean
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any other questions.
No, I definitely have more. I'm just gonna tell my mom I'm gonna be back in a little bit. Hey,
We
I'm
can
gonna
do
be
we can
back
do
home in a
part two
little bit.
if you want. I mean, we can do part two.
It's up to you. I mean, if you want to end now, but I can go for as long as you want.
We can go a little more.
All right. Okay. So there's the this is the main one. This is what I really wanted to talk about.
This is
the
what
whole
you're
time.
afraid to ask me.
I'm a little afraid to ask, but I also didn't want to ask you
So
before.
you've been like doing like little skirting around you're like
Yeah. So I finally am getting to ask you, right? So you went to Beersheba. I know you did mention this a few times, but I never really fully asked, right? So you went to Beersheba and you helped out, was it Ethiopian immigrants, right?
oh, we had everyone.
But you had everyone. So
Everyone.
online, I guess the Google's a little racist because Google told me, mainly Ethiopian immigrants. A little racist, but it's okay.
Well,
It's okay.
we have people that do not look Ethiopian.
All right.
I mean, I'm sure you can be Ethiopian and be Caucasian, but generally Ethiopians.
It's possible.
So no, that particular mission we did in the south of Israel called the Darom, and we did all the shchunot, all the neighborhoods in Beersheba, which means full range of demographics.
But wait. Let's track back a little bit. Where did it start? Right. So you're sitting, I believe it's in Eitzachaim, right? You're holding your English, or you're just holding your Chumash. I can imagine holding your English. You're going by the translation. You're tracking the translation, right? And you see the words. What was it? And Avram goes.
Who told you this?
I got my sources.
Oh, I think
have my sources.
there's an article. Yeah,
There's an article. I read the article.
There's an
I read the whole article.
there's an
I
article.
read it a few times. But you read, what is it? Avram goes to Beersheba, basically.
Let's see if I can memorize it. Vayeshav Avraham El Narav Yakum Yechu Yachtavel Beersheva Yeshiv Avraham Yeshava.
Wow.
So it's, if you want to know the story, it's actually true,
Please.
as our Chabad brethren say. It's March of 2006. And every time, Perek Chavbet, Pasuk Yud Tet, I read this Pasuk and I feel a power come over my head.
Wow.
I mean, the only thing that happened is that every day it would happen.
Really?
I'm not exaggerating, at Yud Tet. And so I said, I have to ask the rabbi. The rabbi then was Rabbi Basus. I'm going to ask him. I'm not going to, but I forget. It's now the end of March, and we're now into early Nisan in early April. It's a Friday. I forgot. And now it's going to be, I believe, I think Hey Nisan, maybe the 3rd of April. I'm not sure what it came out. It's Monday morning. Now you can't manufacture it. Once again.
Yeah.
Yashav Avraham Elna Kuma Yichli.
Can't make this up.
It comes down again.
Wow.
So everyone's out of the finished with davening. The rabbi used to give a class. He finishes his class. I said, Rabbi, I have to ask a question. What's the significance of Beersheba?
Yeah.
He said, that's where Avraham made his first camp.
Wow.
Oh, camp. That's what I do.
Yeah.
I run soccer camps.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it wasn't a soccer camp. But the way he answered me at about 8 o'clock that morning, I knew God was sending me to Beersheba.
Oh my gosh.
I mentioned to no one.
Okay.
To no one. It wasn't until July I said to my wife, after summer camp, soccer camps are over, we have to go to Beersheba in September. I'm being called to do soccer camps there in the summer of 2007.
Okay. Wow.
She goes, okay. So we literally go. We know no one.
Wow.
Just go into the city. No contacts. Although, as I talked to you before, Rav Seren Shai Bernstein, I had read in August that he fell in the Second Lebanon War. And it was unfortunately a very long list of soldiers listed in the Jewish Week of Manhattan. And there was one soldier. I was sitting right here reading it, 2006, 20 years ago. One soldier from Beersheba. I said, I'm going to do these camps in the Kibbutz in the summer of 07 in this soldier's memory. And when I go in September, I'm going to find Mishpacha Bernstein.
Wow.
And approach them. And he asked if I could do these camps in his memory. And it was crazy. We ran around the city.
Wow.
Couldn't find them.
Wow.
Went to, I think it was Beit Chayalim. It was a soldier's. And the guy behind the counter said, it's really lovely what you're doing, but it was a hospitality center for soldiers. But I have no idea. He would tell everybody about what we're doing. 45 minutes. Arba'im Nothing. Now we were running around the city, meeting this person, that person. Just as I'm leaving, the man Shimon behind the desk, he goes, "Now you can't make this up." He goes, "Oh, you know that soldier you're looking for? Yeah, the one that you have no idea where to find them. Oh, right here on the wall, there's a poster about his shaloshim tomorrow night.
Wow.
At the military cemetery." Now wait a second. No one has a clue. We've given all the hishtadlut, and we're saying goodbye. Thank you, Shimon. One second before you go. So we check it out. We find it.
Wow.
We arrived the next night. It looked like San Diego, California. The weather was beyond pristine. It was filled. It was a very moving ceremony. And there I am with my little note. And somebody says after the shaloshim, "Are you waiting to speak with the family?" I said, "I am." They're coming from his kever, his father, his brother, his sister.
Yeah.
And we speak, and I tell them. And they said, yes, we would be very honored if you want to do him in his memory.
Oh, wow.
And so I returned in June with 316 chutzot, packed in bags and bags, $120 extra a bag. I told the story at the airport. The woman behind the desk looked at the tough Italian security guy, let him go for free. So I brought all these 360 chutzot and distributed 347 of them throughout the city. And like I said, over these 5 years, we did 326 soccer clinics for over 5,700 people, mostly youth, in all the neighborhoods of Beersheba, religious, non-religious, doesn't matter.
Wow.
Arad, Dimona, Sderot, and Givat Bar. And that was it. It was a call. And for personal reasons, I had to stop going. I would have continued to go endlessly. Went there 6 times to the city. 5 times we did the program. We have pictures. There's a lot of nice pictures that we have here. I could show you.
Wow.
That's it.
It's beautiful. What do you guys do? Do you guys stay? Where do you guys stay? Stay in a hotel, or do you stay up at someone's house? Or?
First 2 years stayed in a hotel, and the
Wow,
last three in an absorption center. And
wow,
the absorption center, if you want to see an absorption center, it's the longest building in Israel. It's in Shchuna Hay, Mirkaz Klita Ye'ilim. You see every Jewish person from every corner of the world.
wow.
Is not. If you want to see what the ingathering of the exiles looks like, ingathering of the exiles, I think it's in the Shemona Esrei about everybody coming from the four corners, whatever. That's what it looks like.
Wow.
I mean, you're with the people. You're with the people. So we stayed at the absorption center.
Wow.
The last 3 years, I think hotel for the first 2 years.
Yeah. Wow.
But
What did that like? How did that change you? You know, like going there, helping people who were obviously regular people, you know, who had perfectly normal lives, but also people who were, what's the word they use? The under,
well,
you know.
keep in mind, it's soccer. Just
Yeah.
like when you have our covenantal kick,
Yeah.
the attraction is the soccer. Yes, we learn, and yes, we look to create everything is from God. So you don't see it, find it.
Yeah.
But I knew it was we're doing soccer camps.
Yeah.
But it didn't dawn upon me until I was close to leaving. It's like, oh, it's a Torah soccer mission. That's right. And you have no idea.
Yeah.
And so I had another seemingly serendipitous moment with the rabbi who just stopped me in the street, gave me a shear days before I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
I'm going, don't know this guy. He just stops and is telling me a shear. I go, what he gave me, I taught in Irad.
Really?
Exactly. It's crazy. You can't make it up. So you do the deed, and God takes care of the details. You can't make it up.
Yeah.
And so you want to be effective.
Yeah.
So part of our curriculum was speaking about the Chayal and his values, integrating them into what we're doing on the Midrash. We talked about the midot, mitzvot, miyumanot. Perhaps not that well, but again, we taught at a rabbinical college. Literally, the Rabbi Khalifa asked me to talk to the rabbinical students, and then I ran a game for them.
Wow.
We also did at Mechala K College, Anashim Gedolim, a benefit game for Shai.
Wow.
But you don't know if you're effective. All you know is that you've been called to do it, and you're trying to just bring it. And everybody was heavily into it because we bring it in a way which is extremely passionate, entertaining.
Yeah.
But you also want to make a difference.
Yeah.
Even if you're giving them joy, which is great, but you'd like to also impart the message. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there was one message that you could give to everyone listening to this episode, something that you think embodies what drives you, what gets you up in the morning, but what also, puts you to sleep. What is your life goal, and how could you kind of impart that onto the listeners?
That's a very strong question. And naturally, if you ask me that question at different time over the decades and over these last 50 plus years,
It might be
different answers.
Yeah.
Which is I was talking about in the beginning.
Yeah.
ATF, after the fact. And the mission statement that we read at the Rovers Covenantal Kick is not the mission statement that would have been read even short 6, 7 years ago. 8
Yeah.
years. Yeah. So I always say, we say the Torah is like an onion. Say the Torah is an onion. And we say
Yeah.
that the ball is an onion.
Okay.
And what do we do with an onion? We peel the onion. And so what we say is we're perpetual peelers of the onion. Perpetual peelers. The Torah, there's never, you'll be peeling and finding new layers of meaning, new layers, new layers, new layers. Infinity, infinity. Same thing with the ball. So what happens is we have the Pashat and we have this great game. Don't give me the philosophy. Don't give me the meaning. It's a great game. It's amazing. I don't need a justification. I don't need meaning. If I want my Torah, I'll do my Torah. Give me
Yeah.
my soccer.
Yeah.
However, the answer now, at this stage of the peeling of the onion, is to fulfill the mission that God has assigned me using soccer as a vehicle.
Yeah.
And it's what we teach, L'taken olam, b'malchut Shaddai, derech midot, mitzvot miyonot. That's what drives me. I had no idea it was a plan. If you're telling me 54 years ago, take the ball in the ice cream truck, so is there a disconnect? One begets, which begets, which begets, which begets, which begets. So hopefully I can share more story information. And that's kind of what drives me.
Just the will to like constantly give more, do more.
Well, we have been blessed. This might seem to be a divergence to what I just said.
Yeah.
We've been blessed to be doing this continuously for essentially 54 plus years. It depends what the start date is. If you take 71, that would be August. That would be in April. Actually, 71 was our first clinic.
Yeah.
It was a street clinic.
Okay.
It was pre take the ball on the ice cream truck
Yeah.
and spread the game amongst the town's youth.
Yeah.
So you're basically talking a 55, a 54. So in that span of time, no matter what form, whether it's running soccer camps, weekly soccer clinics, this event, that event, running for the Olympic, running the semi-pro team, we had a rover semi-pro. And the rover semi-pro, we had over 700 games.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was a very important body of work from 1974 to 1991. We won. It was like a semi-pro, amateur semi-pro team. We won 31 championships.
Wow.
These were with people a little older than you.
Wow.
18, 19 and up, pretty much, adult. So, but if you combine everything, we've done a lot of clinics.
Yeah.
And how many? At this point,
how many clinics overall? I think it was something in the
events.
Thousands.
Over this will sort of
it says 26,700.
Now it's over 34.
Wow.
So what's the point?
Wow.
I like to equate to what we do as a long running Broadway show. And so now this long running Broadway show, well, I wasn't around when it started 50 something years ago, but it was a great show. And now it's continuing. And now I saw it for the first time. It's got to be, come on. It's got to be old. You saw this for the first time. And it's like you saw it. It's like they're doing it for the very first time, not for the 34,000th time. and it looks like fresh. It might not be the same actors,
Yeah.
and yet that's what I say what we do. So when we're out there, whether it's for the general population or the Jewish population, it doesn't matter. When we do, let's say we've done 34,000 that next one is not like, well, man, look, I'm just going to mail it. No. That's like bringing it like it's day one.
It's a great way to think of life.
Okay. So with that in mind, that goes on. No matter where you are in the evolution of the rover's mission, where now Torah plays a role, and it informs what we do, whether we're working with the general population or Jewish population or any population.
Yeah.
Because the Torah is, while it might be particular to our people, it's also universal in its message. So therefore, what we've developed in the Torah soccer now can be integrated into all our sessions. So I would say that you're coming in. You said what wakes you up?
Yeah.
You're on call. So if you don't know what your mission is in life,
Yeah.
now everyone could say, I don't know, but this is my job. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So basically,
Yeah.
So basically, it helps motivationally if you know why you're here. And so I appreciate the question. And there's a lot of obligation.
Yeah.
Meaning, it'd almost be better if you didn't know. But now that you know something, you're obligated to try to fulfill.
That's how Judaism works.
You've been assigned.
Yeah.
And so there's a frustration because while you're giving it your best, at the same time you're falling short. But you don't give up. And that's it.
Like it's a very fundamental idea, a very fundamental idea in Tanya as well. Like when someone slips up, to not lose their kayak, not lose their like, their meaning, their feeling. It's like, someone wants to go on a diet. They never want to eat any carbs for 6 months. People do it all the time. No carbs, 6 months, right? 3 weeks in, they think they're strong on. They're gonna do it. It's not that bad. Someone gives them a slice of pizza. They forgot that they're doing this no carb diet, keto or whatever, right? They slipped up. Should they say, okay, screw this whole thing, now I'm gonna stop doing this diet completely? Or should they say, okay, I slipped up, I had a slice of pizza, I had some carbs, shouldn't have done that. Tomorrow, we're back. Or right after, I go do Alamicha on this, we're back, right? So it's the idea of like, which I think you have a lot. You have a lot of like fundamental ideas in Tanya, which I think even if you hadn't learned Tanya, right, you do have lessons in Tanya over there, right here, right? But even if you hadn't learned that, I think you have it in your psyche, almost as if you were born with it. This idea of gotta go. It doesn't matter if I've done this for this many years or this many times, it doesn't matter. I still gotta show up. I still gotta go.
Well,
it's one of the most incredible things.
You do have to have a motivation. So if you're doing the equation with the analogy with food, you still need a motivation as to keep going when you slip. Now, when it comes to your mission, it's a little frightening because it's not your mission. It's God's mission.
Yeah.
To which you've been assigned, which means if you falter,
that's deep. That's very deep.
If you falter, it's like, you're a nice guy.
Yeah.
But, when you're a kid and we're playing the game, do over. God will say to us, no matter what the age, I've given you so many do-overs.
Yeah.
And you're still on the job, but it's kind of, so now it comes to the food. The food can be used for various reasons. What's your motivation? Is it for vanity? Is it because I need to be healthy so I can serve Hashem better? Is it because
You're not comfortable in this
it's
weight,
for
or
health? And different times in your life, you not just have different strengths, but you might have different motivations. But one thing I have found, which is effective,
yeah,
is to be competitive. And the competitiveness is, well, look at it this way. You're a baseball player and you have hit a ball every time 3 out of 10 times. That means you failed 7 times. Baseball is called a game of failure. A guy
really,
who hits a ball 3 out of 10 times has a batting average of 300 or up. You're considered elite. If you're a 300 hitter lifetime,
wow,
you're a Hall of Famer.
wow.
So I usually go, I failed 7 out of 10. And you're one of the best ever? Yes. The idea is usually you just throw the baby out with the bathwater and I'm done. I slipped up. So what you do is you keep a scorecard. If you're a pitcher, I lost 3 times, but I won 22. You have a record of 22-3.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You won the Cy Young Award.
Yeah.
So we need to, as we beat ourselves up, not to make it a catastrophe and say, okay, we're good. We're good. And anything, try to count the hits. Try to keep a scorecard. Wow, okay. And so that helps you deal with the loss a little bit better.
But that's very interesting. I like that idea that in baseball, if you're what you said, pitcher, you're a hitter.
You're a hitter.
You're a hitter, and you get 3 out of 10. That's incredible.
You're considered one of the best ever.
Yet with our lives, we'll slip up. One day a year, we'll slip up with whatever we're doing, right? Whatever we're struggling with. For one day a year, I'm like, okay, I'm screwed. I screwed everything over. It's done.
Catastrophic. Yeah.
It's the most horrible thing. Just go back. Do it.
But remember,
Go back.
anything I'm sharing is something that
It's your personal experience.
I've built.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, I just try to share whatever wisdom I have to maybe save some people. Hey, look, I know there's a God because with all the mess ups, if God still has you in the game, there's a reason.
Yeah.
But now there's, we're obligated to fulfill His mission.
100%.
And thank God, I didn't know it was the plan that the Torah was going to be part of the soccer. That's another story, perhaps for another time.
Beautiful.
But we'll see. So I hope there's a little bit of giving here. Perhaps I can give you a few more, resources so you can have more to ponder. I appreciate you having me.
Thank you so much for having us. This is a great way to end that episode. We just got through so many different things talked about. We went from talking about beginning of this, end of that, progression, regression. And yeah, I think this is a perfect way to end the episode, giving some food for thought. Right? And yeah, thank you so much.
I also, are we still on?
We are still going.
So
yeah.
I talked to you about perfectionism.
Yeah.
And I guess perfectionism could fall into that same category we were talking about, slip-ups.
Yeah.
And once again, probably one of the reasons I grappled with us doing this was there's so much to cover. Where do you start? So since it's so overwhelming, let's not start. But to your credit, you put it out there and I thought about it. And
yeah, I mean,
I decided to
amazing.
Yeah.
So
even if we fall short,
yeah,
I still think we get points for starting. So thank you so much. You should be blessed. You're very, very
Thank you so
special.
much for having me in your
And I also
house.
think, huh?
Thank you so much. You had me in your house.
Well,
You helped me create. We did this podcast together. It was such an incredible podcast. Yeah, and for everyone watching on YouTube, Spotify, or Instagram, or wherever you're watching from, please hit the follow button, so you can see whenever the newest episodes come out, and maybe put a like, so then the algorithm knows people actually want to watch my content. And yeah, just have a good rest of your day, and yeah, I think that's a wrap.